Hi, it's Terry Preuss, NBCT, responding to Mr. Round's letter, and this is round 10, and I'm going to try to make this like a boxing match and finish up by 12, but I have an awful lot to say, because definitely the individuals who are requesting so much testing certainly have never watched these children test, certainly have never been a teacher in most cases, because this obsession with testing can't be promoted by anyone who's been a part of the school system, who cares about kids or who loves teaching. I'm not saying you don't need to test them every now and then. I'm saying it's getting obsessive and it needs to end. It's enough that we have a system that is already broken and needs some fixing, but to continuously teach to the test, and if the scores aren't high enough, the school isn't going to do well, and if the kids don't do well enough, they can't have PE or art, and yeah, that's a good reason to not bother with art and music and PE, because that would be time taken away from studying and studying. So let's just give it a little bit of a rest, or, you know, definitely let's have the policymakers take this test. And, you know, I've done a little bit of research on how much is actually going to different publications that are helping us to further teach to the test. And, you know, that's another thing that we need to start looking at, because I think most teachers are tired of teaching to the test. I think most teachers want to inspire learning. But we continue to have to teach to the test. And to add insult to injury, now we have observation systems which some individuals up there have decided should be tied to student test scores, as if we weren't testing students enough. Now the teacher's validity and the teacher's persona is going to be measured by how well the students take the test. So obviously this is just leading to, you know, more corruption from within. We've already talked about the possibility of people wanting to do things that perhaps they shouldn't do, but we have an iObservation system that we have now put into our county to help teachers teach to the best of their ability. And this is something that was made by Dr. Marzano. Great individual, love a lot of his research. I totally quote him and back him on a lot of what he does. And I am certain that he never intended for his iObservation systems to be used in a way that make teachers feel thwarted in their teaching ability, or to make the observation experience a demeaning experience for teachers, but it does happen. I happen to be a veteran teacher of 25 years, and I happen to be the union steward at my school, so I know how a lot of teachers feel. And I know how a veteran teacher who's always been given accolades and, you know, have had a long list of things that have been applauded in my career, including Teacher of the Year, you know, to have someone watch me, and because the checklist that I was supposed to perform to of what Dr. Marzano thinks good teaching looks like isn't exactly, you know, the way it was supposed to be, now it's making me, you know, also feel like I have to teach to the test. I have to teach to my own test. I have to teach to the checklist. So if someone walks in my room, it's like, oh, did I do this? Did I do that? What else was on the checklist? Honestly, I started to look into this because so many teachers have been complaining throughout our county. In fact, my county has actually made a lawsuit against this system. But I've started to look into this system, and I did a lot of research on the Marzano website, and it would take me about 2 months of staying home and doing nothing but studying to understand the system fully. And guess what? Administrators would need more than that amount of time. So the administrators are making mistakes in how they're doing the checklist and observations, and the teachers really can't find out everything that they need to know. But the bottom line is we are supposed to do what Dr. Marzano thinks good teaching looks like. And he has a long checklist of these things. And administrators come in and they check us off. And this makes the students a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, because they don't know who to listen to now. I've actually had complaints where some administrators walk in and actually speak to teachers about what they're doing in front of students. That is not okay. Extremely unethical. Things like this are going on and just making the veteran teachers, people who know what they're doing, feel uncomfortable. So you can imagine how the young ones are feeling. So adding insult to injury already, when we're already looking at our students and not liking that they're lab mice and making us also go through the maze and ring the bell to get the cheese, no.